Hey guys, so I just got back from seeing Split. I finally got to see around to seeing it. It's one of the reasons why it's taken me so long the last couple of days to see a lot of these movies is because the weather right now is kind of shitty out. We've been kind of getting a little bit of a snowstorm. Not that much of snow, but enough that the roads are kind of shit. I to the point that I actually had the chance to go see Manchester by the Sea today too, but I kind of decided just to go see one movie and call it a day, just because I knew the roads were probably going to be shit after a little while. So, just like I said, I will be going to see Manchester by the Sea in next week or so, but I wanted to go see Split first because I didn't get to see it last week. And I've been hearing some pretty decent things about it since it came out. Actually, I've been hearing decent things and also some negative. I've heard some polarizing thoughts about it. This movie had my interest from the get-go because it's directed by M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan's has been one of those directors that, man, he makes some really shitty movies as of late, but he's kind of making slowly but surely a comeback with The Visit and now this. I'm like, man, maybe this is a turn in the right direction for his career, man. I hope it is. He's not a bad director. He's just made a lot of shitty movies. And I will always say this. Even his shitty movies are entertaining. Even if they are shitty, they're really fucking entertaining. The Happening is hilarious. After Earth is pretty fucking funny, and stuff like that. But Science is kind of fucking hilarious too. But I like M. Night Shyamalan. I love The Sixth Sense and stuff like that. I thought The Visit was I gave it a really positive review last year. The Visit, I thought it was pretty clever. So I was kind of looking forward to this one, and. Yeah, it's a unique little film. It is. It's a unique little film. I actually really enjoyed this film. It is a pretty goddamn good thriller. It has a couple flaws I'll get into that were honestly minor for the most part. It didn't really bother me that much. But I really fucking enjoyed this movie. I wasn't bored one bit with this thing. It kept my interest as to where it was going this whole movie. The biggest reason why this movie works for me, fucking James McAvoy. Is it too late to give this guy an Oscar for this? I'm fucking serious. This is one of those performances that's just so out there. It's so fucking fantastic. Like, the whole time he was on screen, I could not fucking look away. Like, this takes skill. What he did in this movie takes some fucking skill. Because I've heard a lot of other critics mention this, and I'm going to mention this too. I hate to repeat what other critics are saying, but there are scenes in this movie where he has to go, like, especially right at the end, there's a scene where he goes from one personality to another, he, like, within a split second of each other, and he does it just so fucking well, and like, is really good at it, and that takes some fucking talent, some really good talent. And James McAvoy has been one of those actors I've always liked, and like, this is one of those performances he knocked it out of the fucking park for me, man. Like, he kept this movie going for me. Like if this role was casted wrongly, this could have easily it went south if it would not been casted right. This role, but luckily James McAvoy just fits the role very well. Also thought that the main girl in the movie was actually really good. They give her a pretty decent backstory. A pretty good, decent story. To the point, like, okay, I might have only one watching this movie while the movie was beginning, thinking that she was in on it this whole fucking time, and that she was in on it with James McAvoy, because it kind of makes you believe that towards, like, throughout the whole movie. I'm the only one who thought that, because, like, at the beginning of the movie, you are introduced to her, and she's at this little party with these high school kids, the other two high school girls that get kidnapped, and she's kind of an awkward teenager, and she says, well, basically, after everybody's waiting for her ride to pick her up so that everybody can get going, and then she gets a phone call, and she says that her uncle's car broke down, so the one girl's dad says, okay, I'm going to take you and drop you off at home. Well, that's what ends up happening. They're like setting up the events of James McAvoy kidnapping them. And I was like, that's kind of a little coincidental. Like, that just all seems very convenient. Like, I was like, is she going to end up being in on this? I said, that'd be kind of a cheesy, like, setup, but I was surprised they didn't go that route. I was like, man, knowing M. Night Shyamalan, like, because part of me is like, knowing M. Night Shyamalan, every one of his movies usually has a fucking twist. I thought that was what was going to happen, but no, I was actually surprised by that. I don't get the spoilers, but no, she's not at all. But you also get a really fucked up backstory with her character involving her and her uncle basically molesting her, and it kind of her character has kind of not a very happy ending by the end of this fucking movie. Really, she doesn't. She's kind of in a shitty situation by the end of this fucking movie, and it's like, wow. But she's really good in the movie. Like, the other two are kind of like your typical annoying teenagers that you see in a fucking horror movie. They don't have any fucking brains about them. The one girl was the girl from Edge of 17, the friend of Haley Steinfeld's in Edge of 17, and she's alright. I liked her a lot better than this. Also like the psychiatrist. I like the psychiatrist was pretty good. You also get a fucking cameo from M. Night Shyamalan halfway through it, where he's like an assistant to the psychiatrist. Like, you can't help yourself, can you, M. Night? You have to put yourself in your own movie, I guess, whatever. It's a very minor role. At least you didn't fucking say, like, put him in a major role, like in Lady in the Water, and say he's like the greatest writer of all time or something like that. That was fucking stupid. But at least he doesn't do that. He gives himself just a minor role. This movie is pretty goddamn intense. Like, there's some really goddamn intense moments in this movie. Like, it's a really goddamn good thriller. Like, especially towards the end. Like, there was some directions that this movie went that I did not see fucking coming. I really did not. Mainly because I thought, but just because this is an M. Night Shyamalan movie, I thought, well, there's going to be like some weird, clever twist to it that, you know, but no, it's kind of very straightforward. In a way, let's just say, I'm not giving it. I'm trying to find a way, like, trying not to spoil it, but and I was like, I thought that was like, that was like kind of like clever, but also at the same time, it was one of my complaints is like the last half when you find out what the monster is, because like his personalities keep talking about this monster, and like they're feeding basically these girls to this monster, and when you find out what the monster is, I was thinking it was gonna be like, it's hard to explain without getting the spoilers, but like, you're like, it's not exactly what I expected from M. Night Shyamalan, because they usually think it's gonna be something like over the top or something like that, or something like it, like the monster's an allegory for something else. No, not really. It's kind of very straightforward. In a way, again, it's hard to get talk about without getting the spoilers. But it does result in some pretty goddamn intense scenes at the very end of the movie. That final chase scene with the main girl and the monster or whatever is really good. It's really, really good. That was pretty intense, and that fucking setting that they put it in was really good. It made it really intense. Also, if there's anything else to complain about, it is this movie, without getting into spoilers, for some reason it feels like it's very tacked on at the last minute, but this movie all of a sudden becomes a sequel to another movie. I'm not going to say what. If you want to know, it's already out online. I already found that out before I saw the fucking movie. Thank you, internet, you fucking assholes. Which was because at the very end, there's a very special cameo, if you haven't heard about it. And it's setting up that this movie this whole time has been a sequel to a certain movie that I've never seen. Surprisingly, I've never seen. And I don't think I knew what that cameo was referencing, but I guarantee there was a lot of people in the movie theater that I was with that didn't get it. But it's like I said, I thought that was very tacked on and very unnecessary, really. Although it does hint at it throughout the movie, if you really think about it, it does kind of hint at it. But it felt really unnecessary. Like, it felt like something that was tacked on by M. Night Shyamalan at the last fucking minute. Like I said, it didn't really need it. Because I thought the movie stood well on its own. I think that you could do a really good thriller about a person with personality disorder or multiple personality disorder. I know this movie's probably not very scientifically accurate about that fucking disease, especially towards the end. But yeah, especially at the end. It's fascinating. I said that you making a horror movie based off this disorder, somebody with this disorder, you can make a pretty good movie off of that, like something like that. I recommend this movie. I highly do. It was entertaining. I was not bored whatsoever with this. I went in pretty tired, and I had no problem staying awake for this thing. That's a plus. Yeah, I actually like this better than Silence, which I can't believe I'm fucking saying. I like the M. Night Shyamalan movie better than fucking Martin Scorsese movie. Man, I don't know what world I'm living in. Yeah, I recommend it. As far as trailers go, I finally got a full trailer for A Cure for Wellness, and I still have no idea what the fuck this movie's about. I don't know. It's like something about this guy goes to get this elderly man from this hospital or whatever, and they have this weird cure for something. I don't know. And it's basically anybody who comes to this hospital cannot leave or something like that. It's kind of like it's Gore Verbinski trying to make a horror movie, I think. I don't know. Yeah. It looks weird. It was very weird. There were a lot of times I'm kind of interested in what the fuck is going on in this movie. Like, the trailer had some really creepy imagery in it. Fucking Chips. We're getting a Chips movie. Why? Who the fuck wanted this? Dax Shepard is starring in it and directing it. Apparently he wanted it. And Michael Pena is playing what's the guy? His name, I'm fucking forgetting it, of course, because he's Mexican. I don't know. This looks stupid. It really does. Like, who wanted this? Nobody does. I'm pretty certain most people don't even know what Chips is, other than an older audience. Honestly, if you could call this anything, and And that's the thing. Like, you could call this anything except chips, and it would be the same fucking thing. And then I got a trailer for... Finally, this is the first time I actually ever got a trailer in front of anything. Rings, the new Ring movie. It looks fucking stupid. Who the fuck needs another Ring movie? Who wanted another Ring movie? I've never been that big of a fan of those movies anyways. I always like, fuck this, like, everybody's, oh, she's crawling out the TV. It's like, that's fucking stupid. That's exactly my response when I first saw it. I was like, that was pretty fucking stupid. I was, like, terrified by that. That's fun. I was like, that was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in a horror movie. Yeah. I don't care for this. And also, it's now an internet video, I guess. Like, the girl has a video on her fucking on her computer. It just says "Watch me." Why the fuck would you do that in the first place? I don't know. Anyways, but whatever. I don't care. I will be back in the next couple days with Manchester by the Sea. But until then, I will talk to you guys later.